Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the American Dynasty League. With me, as always, is Math Boy Alan Henley and the commish, Clyde Randall Waters. Let's get this week started off right. Let's take a look at last week's Mama Matchup of the Week.
Mama Matchup of the Week.
All right, last week's Mama Matchup of the Week was Big Ben's Lovechild versus the Subliminal Criminals. Math Boy, do us the math.
Well, I think this comes down for one thing for the Subliminal Criminals. Their running backs, both, I think maybe for almost the first time this year, scored over 10 points. And I think that kind of helped them out. On top of Big Ben's Lovechild only scoring 86.2 points.
Ooh.
That's not a lot of points.
It's not. It's hard to score a lot of points when your defense scores negative 13 points.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then try to trade somebody that defense.
Whoa.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Anyways, let's see here. On top of that, Big Ben's Lovechild, only 72% efficient. They left points on the bench. Like DeMarco Murray putting up 3 touchdowns, 29 points. Dante Moncrief picking up some of those receptions over there for the Colts at 13 points. And the Subliminal Criminals on the flip side, 95% efficient. Only one player they could have done a little bit better had they put in Dion Lewis over Jonathan Stewart. Ooh. Big Ben's Lovechild has a talent, but maybe the talent's not being managed well. What do you think?
Yeah, it'd be hard to leave DeMarco Murray on the bench. I think at any time, Dante Moncrief, you don't see that happening.
Yeah, that's right.
But after Adrian Peterson's big week, what has he done? And it's hard. That's a big running back core to keep track of, and you got to do a little more research, I think, to figure it out.
When you're a love child and not a standard child,
okay,
you don't have the father figure in your life sometimes that you need to learn to manage a proper fantasy football team. So, like, being Big Ben's love child, it's hard for him to manage his team. Because then they're going, oh man, did my mom like it? Was it consensual? Who knows with Big Ben? There's a lot of rumors out there about that guy. I mean, you just don't know. Anyways,
for a matchup of the week, it was almost a discount double up. Wasn't much of a matchup.
Tell you what, Jared Goff,
yeah. Oof.
What a replacement.
He's turned it on. People were hating on him since he got drafted, but man, he turned it on.
Well, let's take a look at another interesting matchup. One that I think we possibly should have made the matchup of the week. The Hairy Berries versus the Black Stags.
Ooh.
Math Boy, why don't you break down this slugfest for me?
All right, well, the Hairy Berries get the win over the Black Stags with just commanding points from running back Mark Ingram and wide receiver Adam Thielen, both getting over 30. That is big time. But, man, the Black Stags, Commish, your team, they hung in there this week. Both teams, I mean, you were even more efficient than the Hairy Berries.
A little bit.
Just by 0.2%. But, I mean, this was just an incredible slugfest. It'll be interesting to see. I guess, are you eliminated now?
I think there's like a 3% chance I could pull off a wild card spot.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I mean, I think it hurt you not having Jay Ajayi and 30 points from 2 players. I think that just sealed the deal.
Yeah.
All right, any other matchups we want to take a look at this week?
Well,
I like to look at the Winterfell Direwolves and the Farty McFarface.
Yes, the pillow fight of the week.
The pillow fight, baby.
Of the week.
I love winning the pillow fight. So not a lot of people know that about me.
Oh, this matchup, it came down going into Monday night.
Sunday night.
Sunday, going into Sunday night.
It all comes down to
Sunday night?
There was like a point difference. Winterfell Direwolves goes into the Sunday night matchup of a point. Both teams, Winterfell Direwolves and the Farty McFarfaces, have one player yet to play. Those players are the same position. The team, special team, and defense. You have the Farty McFarfaces with the stout Denver Broncos defense versus the Winterfell Direwolves New England Patriots defense.
Who have not been great this year.
Who have not been great. And the Direwolves picked up the Patriots defense on a whim, 8:30 in the morning. Half asleep, still with their CPAP mask on.
That's factually correct.
Well, as it turns out, the Patriots defense were the better defense to have.
And look,
NFL Direwolves will come out victorious. That 1 point margin going into the game ended up being like a 16-point margin at the end of it.
and look, Winterfell Direwolves with O.J. Howard getting them a magical 0.
Oh, 0.
Look at that.
That's right.
I mean, it is just incredible how often that magic 0 really propels a team to victory.
The Farty McFarfaces tried to get a 0 in there, but Chris Ivory kind of fell forward for like half a yard.
Yeah.
One interesting side note to this matchup. The Farty McFarfaces took advice of their good friend Josh and dropped the Patriots D on Friday. So they had the Patriots D. So I picked up their D and I beat them with it.
Oh,
Just so that's on the record.
That is
all right.
All right, let's move into our awards of the week. First up, we got the Hershey Milk Dud of the Week. This goes out to the player that was just a dud, and this one is going to be won by who this week's? Kamish.
The Milk Dud of the Week for Week 10 is Devonta Freeman.
Wow.
Atlanta running back, only putting up 0.3 points for the Winterfell Direwolves.
It was rough, but I still blew off a win. I was
You
very
did.
excited. Hopefully he's okay. I heard he's concussed and might have to miss this week and maybe next week.
Ooh.
So I'm going to have to really figure out what to do with the running back. Whatever, we'll figure it out. Next, we got the Ram Pickup of the Week, brought to you by Ram Trucks. They're Ram Trucks. And that is going to be won by who? Math Boy.
Well, this week, again, with the lack of pickups, we go with a defense.
Ooh.
The New England Patriots defense picked up by
This guy.
right there. The Winterfell Direwolves getting him 16 points this week and making them be the victor of their game. So, I mean, on top of just the pickup of the week, it was the pickup that got you the win.
It felt really great. Next, we got
How did
the...
it taste?
Oh, it tasted like delicious Cheez-Its. Like the types of Cheez-Its that you can get at the sponsor of our next award, Mike's Bodega. As a matter of fact, we got a word from our sponsor right now. Let me ask you a question. When you're at work, do you get hungry? Do you feel a need for a snack? Do you wish you had a peppermint patty? Well, if any of that's true for you, then I ask you to, if you get hungry, eat something. And get that something at Mike's Bodega. We have cookies, we have Pop-Tarts, we have peppermint patties. We even have handcrafted wood pins in case you go into that meeting with a client, want to impress them, made by Overdale Woodworks. And don't forget, if your back gets itchy, we have high-end back scratchers, both for rent, $1, or for own, $2. And remember, Mike's Bodega is located conveniently in the pit, next to Clyde's Cube and across from Billy's Cube. That's Mike's Bodega. We like our customers, and our customers like us.
I got my back scratcher at Mike's Bodega, and it changed my life.
Oh man, could I use one of those back scratchers? I got this itch back here. Man. Anyway, that's Mike's Bodega, sponsor of the Whoopin' of the Week, and that one is going out to who, Kamish?
The Whoopin' of the Week, sponsored by Mike's Bodega, goes out to the matchup of Big Ben's Love Child versus the Subliminal Criminals. The Subliminal Criminals had the 66-point win. Again, it was almost a discount double up. Smacking down Big Ben's love child. Making sure that they realize that they're just the love child, not the real child.
Next up, we got the Resurrected Team of the Week, brought to you by Lazarus Department Stores. Woo-hoo. This one is my favorite award, and it is going out to the Harry Berries, my favorite sister, with her 162.86 point showing, coming back from a loss and getting the win. Next up, we got the Poopery Poo-Poo Team of the Week. The Poo's coming out the cornhole. This one's going out to who, Math Boy?
And this one is going out to the Farty McFart Faces with 79.94 points. Kind of wondering if they're maybe reverting back to old ways.
So, this week I heard some post-game talk from the owner of Farty McFart Faces going on about how he's already done in this league and might have to just move on. This team is no good. Even though I think he still has a shot at winning the division.
Yeah, and he's definitely in a position to make the playoffs.
I know, but it's all right. People give up, other people win.
I mean, sometimes when you get enough farts and you're a McFart face, it's just hard to think. Last award we got this week is the Proactive Breakout Player of the Week. That one is going out to who, Kamish?
Robert Woods from the Los Angeles Rams, putting up 37.1 points this week.
All right, that is our awards of the week. Next, let's take a look at our matchup of the week for next week.
Matchup of the week?
Let's redo that. That was bad.
We weren't ready.
We weren't ready at all.
We ain't ready.
All right. Well, let's take a look at this week's matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
That was way better. I liked it. The matchup of the week is going to be one team versus another team, and those teams are going to be who? Math Boy.
Those teams are going to be the Harrison Bullfrogs and the Mud Dogs.
Oh, man. Got ourselves a cat fight.
Another heavyweight matchup. Oh, man.
Math Boy, break it down for us.
So, this one, I believe, has playoff contention. I honestly don't remember right now. But, Harrison Bullfrogs, having a really good year this year. Mud Dogs, top of the league, top of their division. Both teams vying for that number one spot in the, I think they're in the red division.
They're in the blue division.
Division.
And they are fighting out to try to keep that top spot.
Yeah. So, the big thing here, I think, that's a big difference maker is the Harrison Bullfrogs bring the Steelers back. So they get Big Ben, they have Le'Veon Bell, they get Juju Smith-Schuster. So they're really, really hoping that team has a good week this week, which I hope they don't. But
yeah.
Whatever. And the Mud Dogs, I think, Kenyon Drake. Who is he? Is he going to be good?
Who knows?
He was a big factor in their win last week. Let's see if he can do it again. I think that's a big factor in this week's matchup.
And then AJ Green, after that game with the fight, came out this week. Another 100-yard receiving game, touchdown. I got a feeling he's going to try to be on fire for the rest of the season, too.
Yeah.
But let's see here. In Week 6, these two teams met head-to-head. And the Mud Dogs defeated the Bullfrogs by 19 points. So the Bullfrogs are out for revenge this week. Need to split this matchup so they have a chance at getting in and trying to take over that blue division.
Actually got an interview with the owner of the Mud Dogs, Brandy. And she had this to say. We have to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, I got a quote that said, "Bad calls even out over the course of the season." So
You just got that quote from anybody or anyone in particular?
I mean, I heard
Someone somewhere say it.
The owner. I mean, when I was in the conference, that's what she said.
Oh, so it was the owner of the Mud Dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't tell me who.
I'm sorry.
We also did an interview with the owner of the Harrison Bullfrogs, one Adam Foster, and he said, we have to come together as a team.
come together
right now over me. All right, so let's get them down. Let's put it on the board here.
On the board.
Who are you taking, Commish?
I'm taking the Mud Dogs.
All right, Math Boy.
I'm going to have to go Mud Dogs.
I'm taking the Mud Dogs as well, which makes the matchup of the week a sweep. All right, next let's go into our 2-minute drill.
Whoa.
2 minutes. The timer didn't start like it's supposed to. All right.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, first up, we got the Red Squirrels versus the Fast and the Furious. Commish, who you taking?
Ooh, the Fast and Furious. He's too fast, too furious.
Oh, I get the reference. Math Boy, who you taking?
Agree with you there, Fast and Furious.
Man, they're like Furious 7. I'm taking the Fast and the Furious. Next up, we got the Schmitty Morgan family.
It's a
sweet.
Sweet.
What is your deal?
I'm bad at
It's like you're thinking of a hot dog waiting for you somewhere.
I do love hot dogs.
Ooh.
Anyways, that matchup becomes a sweep.
Next up, we got the Schmitty Morgan Jäger versus the Mama's Boy, Commish.
I think the Schmitty Werber Jägerman Jensen's bounce back in week 11.
Math Boy.
Schmitty, Werber, Jagerman, Jensen's. He's number 1.
Since the Mama's Boys still seem to be disappeared, lost in Alaska, or kidnapped by some sort of terrorists, I'm taking the Schmitty Jorgen Jägerman, which makes this a sweep. Next up, we got the Subliminal Criminals versus 40 McFartface. Math Boy, who you taking?
Myself. Subliminal Criminals.
Commish.
For some reason, I feel like I'm supposed to say the Subliminal Criminals.
I'm taking the Criminals too, which makes this a sweep.
And congratulations, Steven. You win again.
Next up, we got the Hairy Berries versus the Winterfell Direwolves. I'm going to try to beat my sister. Math Boy, who are you taking?
I'm a little scarred by that, but I'm going to take your sister to beat you. Hairy Berries.
Commish.
Well, I think in this matchup, the Hairy Berries are the hairier ones. So I'm taking the Hairy Berries.
I'm going with myself because I believe in myself.
No sweep.
No sweep.
No sweep.
Next up, we got Big Ben's Love Child versus the Black Stags. Math Boy, who you taking?
I think Big Ben bounces back after a rough week, and I take Big Ben's Love Child.
Commish.
I believe Big Ben's going to bounce back this week.
You know what? I was going to believe in you, Commish. But then I realized you don't believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself in this world, ladies and gentlemen, what can you really get done? So I'm going to take Big Ben's Love Child, which makes this a sweep. All right, and that does it for the 2-minute drill. On to the Commish's Corner for the question of the week. Commish?
Well, last week we threw this out there. Will there be over or under 3 trades by the November 23rd trade deadline? Well, there were 4 of you who said there's going to be under 3. There are 2 of you who said there will be exactly 3 trades. And there are 3 of you who said there will be over 3. Here's what's disappointing about this, people. Only 9 of you participated in the poll.
And we have 12 people in the league. Maybe 11 if Mama's Boys is dead. But I think he's just captured. I think we'll get the ransom anytime now. And I was doing some digging, and we got up to $30 now for the ransom.
Ooh. Anyways, people, get with it. Answer the polls. Fill out your fantasy pool picks. Get out there. Get active. And I think if you do that, there's going to be trades, and we're going to beat this over 3 thing. So, with that, a question for this week. Well, I don't know. Anybody have a good question for this week?
I have a good question for this week.
Okay.
I lost it. Ah, here it is. Do you think the Bengals fire Marvin Lewis before the end of the season?
Before the end of the season?
Sure.
No.
Yeah, me neither. But I need a question.
They
He's supposed to come up with the questions.
I know, that's his fault. I was going to ask the question is Applebee's a good restaurant?
Ooh,
No, it is terrible. It's the worst.
We could do both. I mean,
Well, let's do the Applebee's. It's much better.
I mean, why do two? The league can't even handle one.
¿por qué no los dos?
What?
Don't speak Portuguese to me.
I wasn't Portuguese. I was trying to get our Telemundo audience involved.
Oh, hey, Telemundo.
I can't spell restaurant, so I'm just going to say, is it a good place to eat?
Okay, that's fair.
Restaurant's a hard word.
It's a word I don't know if
Restaurant.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to spell it without my phone.
Restaurant.
I have a hard time spelling tomorrow. I oftentimes go, I'll see you tomorrow later.
I can't spell the word field. I always swap the I's and the E's. And there's only one I and E in it.
It's I before E, except after C.
Except for weird words.
Like,
I don't know.
there.
There, yeah.
No. That's
Their.
right. Isn't it? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for there.
No!
All right, that does it for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me ask you a question.
Whoop.
You're at work.
Central lineups.
Pick your picks. Have fun.
Trade deadline November 23rd.